How did that happen?
In Paris.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been to Paris?
I've been to Paris. I went to Paris for the Nike unveiling of the World Cup kits like 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
I think
Are
you did.
Sure you went to Paris? Really?
Yeah, I'm sure that I went.
Brunch. Hit it, boys.
All right, let's learn about the Island Boys.
Oh, absolutely not.
What, you don't even want to learn about them?
I'll learn about them, but I'll tell you, you're not going to sell me on them. I feel like you've been trying to sell me on them all week.
Absolutely not. Have not been trying to sell you on them.
All right, maybe you've not been trying to sell me on them, but you've literally only mentioned them this entire week.
I think what you're trying to say is I probably, like a lot of people, anytime there's like a lull in the conversation or there's any silence at all, will say to myself, I'm an island boy, because every person I know who knows of, every unfortunate person I know who knows of these island boys and that thing, once you hear that, I haven't gotten out of my head I found out about it, I think, Friday, and like I've seen people tweet like, God, I hate the island boys thing, and I can't stop saying I'm an island boy.
Yeah, and like I'm not in that boat. I listened to it and I thought that it was like kind of catchy, but it never stuck in my head. I've never sang it, and like I feel like I'm the only person in the world that has just completely pushed it aside and been like, I want no part of this.
You have island boy immunity.
Yes, that's right.
That's pretty impressive.
I got the vax.
Oh my God. See, here I am. I'm more trying to be a voice for the voiceless by not having the island boys vax. It's not about.
You're doing your own research.
It's not about mandates or vaccine mandates. It's about vaccine mandates not letting people do their jobs.
Right.
I was referencing Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and it's about,
I don't want people to think
having
that,
a choice.
I don't want people out there thinking that I'm giving up the Island Boys over some vaccine mandate. Kyrie literally said, and I'm a Kyrie supporter. He said, I don't want people going around saying Kyrie's giving up basketball over some vaccine mandate.
It's literally what's happening.
Literally, my buddy. That is exactly what was going on. But yeah, I don't get it. I definitely don't get it with the Island Boys thing, but I've got it stuck in my head.
Oh, I get it. Like, I get it.
Yeah?
It's a catchy song, and it's an incredibly stupid meme
But how
that
is
has
it
taken
catchy?
the internet by storm.
I don't get. That's where I'm just at a loss. It's definitely catchy because it's stuck in my head.
It's
but
catchy and accessible because you can literally just say anything you want and then be like, I'm an island boy. And like, because they're not saying words. Like, you don't have to learn the words to a song. There are none. They're not saying words other than I'm an island boy.
I said to you when we were talking about it the other day, like, I miss when. By a quick little back. So there's this video that's gone like mega super duper viral of these two dudes in a pool just singing to each other about how they're island boys, and one of them will be like, "I'm an island boy," and the other one isn't really like harmonizing. He's just kind of vocally rolling around. He's just like, yeah.
Gotta mention, they are tatted the hell up.
Very
They
tatted.
both have grills that
Yes.
look like their teeth are rotting out. They're bad grills.
Yeah.
And they have hair like Cynthia from the Rugrats.
They do. They've got that going on. They've got all sorts of tattoos. But we were talking about it the other day, and I was like, remember not too long ago when Kesha, and I say this lovingly, but like when Kesha was like the stupidest music available, where like we thought it could get no dumber than someone saying, "Stop talking that blah blah blah."
Yeah, and that like made me laugh. I was like, that is true. Kesha was like the peak of dumb music
And everybody
for a while.
thought like,
Yeah,
this is as dumb as it can
and
get.
they like rejected Kesha because it was so dumb. They were like, there were the people that were like, "Oh, this is so fucking stupid. This isn't the Beatles."
Yeah.
And like, it's like, yeah, but it's catchy pop music, and and not everything has to be like super smart. Like, that's the reason why I love Carly Rae Jepsen, or the reason I fell in love with Carly Rae Jepsen so much at the beginning. I was like, wow, she just makes like dumb bubblegum pop, and it is the catchiest thing
But there's
ever.
a difference there. Like bubblegum pop has always existed, and it is musical. It's very formulaic, but like
But she has dumb
it's
lyrics
stupid,
too. Yeah.
and it's stupid, and it's kind of disposable. And a lot of pop music is like that, and that's totally fine. I love pop music more than I like any other genre. Like that's literally my favorite type of music. When Kesha came out, it was like really pushing the boundaries. It was a lot like the Beastie Boys, where it's like, all right, it's really she's really, or they, I guess, are really trying to see how ridiculous and silly they can be.
It's like the Chainsmokers when they made the selfie song.
Yes.
Yeah, that really felt like they were just trying to make the dumbest song possible.
Yet here we are a few years later, and the Chainsmokers are extremely
World famous.
respectable musicians, put on big, great shows. I think people get mad at them over COVID stuff. That happened?
Probably, yeah. But they jump the hell off of stuff.
Right. Oh my God, I miss that so much. I haven't been to that's not true. I've been to some big concerts recently, but I was gonna say I haven't been to like a big grand concert in a while. I haven't been to something where like a dude from the Chainsmokers is jumping off of like a 3-foot thing.
The short-lived life of our Listen to Brunch blog. One of my favorite pieces was 10 times the Chainsmokers, 10 times that dude from the Chainsmokers jumped off some shit.
Amazing. That guy really loved jumping off of things.
Hell yeah.
Never really taking much of a risk. Very small, like more hops than jumps.
I don't know
He
though.
wasn't
Like,
getting much air.
what is he, like approaching 30? Probably. You
Yeah,
never know. Like any one of those landings, your ankle could just shatter into dust.
that's true. I've sprained my neck from just simply landing off of like a kind, not much of a jump, like a very Chainsmokers-esque jump. So like
You also maybe tore or sprained your ACL or MCL in a dunk tank.
right,
Just sitting
so
down.
maybe it could just be me that I find interesting ways to hurt
No, but
myself.
I think it's like people around our age, you just get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, I was a child when I fucked up my neck, but it was like legitimately just jumping very Chainsmokers type of height. It was very confusing because at that age, you are indestructible.
Yeah, definitely.
When you're a kid,
Like-
you're supposed to die like so many times from like running into walls and like falling off of chairs, which I did all the time.
Yeah, you're invincible. Like the human body is designed to withstand how stupid you are at a young age.
Yeah, and I just like landing funny and being hurt. I was like, I don't get any of this. How'd this happen? But now I'm looking at. I've got the cameo up for the Island Boys, and as
How much
I'm
do they
talking
charge
to you,
per cameo?
it was $150. I
Okay.
checked the other day; it was $150. Now it's at $160. So
Wow.
prices are going up, and I am seeing endless cameo. Everybody is getting these guys for cameos. I'm sure they are working around the clock to do cameos because I've like 10 different people I know have just shared random cameos from them.
That is crazy. They're making so much money, and I hate it.
And it
Did
literally
you asked if we wanted to get a cameo of them, and I forget what it was to announce something.
Yeah. I
and
said
were
let's
you being,
get them.
Were you being serious?
I was joking, but
Okay.
if you, I mean, for one, I think it was 150 at the time. Wouldn't have been too crazy. We were like, let's put out a tweet announcing the next tomato fights, and I was like, great, I can get us an awesome price on the Island Boys.
I can get the Rogers rate.
Exactly. Literally, all their cameos are they just mention something while doing the Island
I know.
Boys song.
And it's like 15 seconds.
Super short.
Yeah.
One of them was some NFT people had them say that Bored Apes are going to an 100 Ethereum floor, and I'm sure that I don't know if those kids are into NFTs, but I'm sure they saw that and were like, what are any of these words? But one of them was just like, Bored Apes going 100 because I'm wildin' boy, I'm an island boy, we keep on styling boy, and the other one's like, cause I'm an island boy, and then it cuts off, and like that's the end of it.
That second kid, I'll tell you, he doesn't have the confidence that he needs to have.
I don't know who's Island Boy 1 and who's Island Boy 2.
I know one of them's name is like Fly Soldier or something.
Yes.
And then the
The
other
other
one
is
is
Kodiak Red.
Okay,
redone.
I don't know which one's which because they look exactly the same. Honestly,
Well, one has a 17 forehead tattoo. The other one has an eagle forehead tattoo. One has
Okay.
darker hair than the other.
Okay. The cameo market is ridiculous.
Oh,
it
we've
doesn't
been over
make
that.
any
Yeah.
sense to me. They're charging $116. Like, take away cameo as an idea. If somebody ever said like, "Hey, can I get I'll pay you $160 for a 15-second video," I would be like, that would only work for like Brad Pitt.
There's no amount of money. We were talking about it with the guy who fucked up the Brady Ball
Yeah.
deal. He's a doctor, and for a second I was like, well, I guess if he's a big enough Tom Brady fan and he's a doctor, he can be like,
Whatever.
you know what? I'll give it to Tom Brady. I don't need the money. But then I think about how Arcade Fire wouldn't license their song "Wake Up" for commercials and movies because everyone wants a piece of that song.
They did it. They did once.
And so they obviously did for "Where the Wild Things
Yeah.
Are," but Super Bowl commercial wanted to use it, and they always said no, and then they were like, wait a second, they're gonna give us like, I don't know, like $300,000 or something.
It's like that
Even
takes
though
care
like
of
we don't
people in
want
the band.
money, let's donate $300,000. Like we now have the option to donate $300,000 to something.
True.
So
yeah,
they
it's just found money that
right.
would
So they
be.
just
yeah.
took the money and donated it however they want to donate it. So I really don't know if there's a level of financial comfort at which you can turn down $160 for a 15-second video, or to turn down again like a free that Tom Brady thing. You could have gotten if you really wanted to drive a hard bargain. They say the value on that football was $500,000.
Yeah.
But you could have tried to get some stuff out of it. And Brady ended up giving him Bitcoin. But
Really?
yeah,
Very cool.
you can end up getting like some real viable stuff, even if you're this rich doctor who's
Yeah,
got front
I
row
don't know.
seats to the
That situation
Buccaneers.
was interesting to me because, like, on one hand, you were lucky enough to get your hands on something that's worth like $500,000.
Yeah.
And I would not blame anybody for like taking that opportunity and fucking cashing in. Doesn't matter if you're a doctor or whatever. Like, there are very few opportunities in life where you're just handed that sort of paycheck
Right.
for nothing. But then there, like, the other part of me is like, well, you're just being a fucking asshole. Like, it takes nothing to just like give that back to like Tom Brady has had his career. He like deserves to have that football and like not have it be held hostage, I guess.
But it doesn't need to be held hostage. Nothing needs to be held hostage as long as the price is paid.
That's true.
Just
yeah.
just pay that price.
Just
and
pay
you're
the
getting that
ransom
Football.
and-
Yeah, just pay his. We're just gonna call it price, and
We'll
you
call
get
it
your
a hostage situation. Just
Absolutely.
give
Why
me the
would it
money
be
that I'm asking
Why would it
for.
be that? It's you've got some money. I've got this football.
You want
I'm
it.
interested in your money.
You're
I think you're interested in this
football.
football. I think that's just an easy trade that they can make.
Yeah.
Man, by the way, people are canceling Tony Romo for
Oh, come on.
what was just like awkward. And I remember I was texting people when he said that. I was like, the subject quickly got changed into like, wait, he gave the football back. Let's roast this guy. But initially was like, yeah, that's super awkward that Tony Romo was like, you should ask for a date with his wife. Like, dude, inappropriate. Don't say that.
Yeah,
But-
it's like a little like cringe and inappropriate.
Weird,
but
inappropriate, dumb, but like he was obviously joking.
right.
He was making just a stupid joke that wasn't funny.
Yeah, right.
So that's where my reaction was like, yikes, Tony Romo, lame. But of course, like,
I saw like the New York Post was
end
like
Tony Romo now.
yeah, insane.
I mean, end him because he's kind of gotten old.
Yeah, but he's fine. Like, he's fine at his job. He's doing his best.
He's fine. Yeah,
I think everybody went overboard with Tony Romo in like the first like
being
3
like he's
weeks.
so great.
Yeah, and being like, ooh, he gets to predict all the plays.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool. I don't want to hear the announcer guessing what play it's going to be before every 3 downs.
It depends. It's exciting, kind of. By the way, the Manning cast is dropping off. I watched, or Peyton and Eli, whatever it is, I watched yesterday with Tom Brady. Tom Brady wasn't very good. Drew Brees was kind of boring. Best one
Marshawn
on
Lynch said the F word.
Marshawn Lynch was on there swearing up a storm. He said shit 1,000 times.
Hell yeah.
Said that he was drunk on there.
Oh, did he say he was drunk?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I believe
Marshawn
he said he
Lynch
took
rules.
3 shots of Hennessy before he went on. Sue Bird was probably the other than Marshawn Lynch being hilarious. Sue Bird, who I didn't realize went to UConn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
should have just assumed.
I've met and hung out with Sue Bird, and she
Really?
is a fantastic person.
How did that happen?
In Paris.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been to Paris?
I've been to Paris. I went to Paris for the Nike unveiling of the World Cup kits like 2 or 3 years ago, whatever it was.
Really?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
think
Are
you did.
sure you went to Paris? Really?
Yeah, I'm sure that I went.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So what was Sue Bird like?
She was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was there for Megan Rapinoe.
That's right.
And so,
Famously.
yeah, and she was very nice. I talked to her for a bit, and just like a very pleasant human being.
Nice. How was the you went to Paris?
I did. I
like, get
flew
away
first
from-
class
Really?
on an international flight. I had one of those like fucking pod things. It rocked.
How do I not know this?
I have no idea.
Are you could be making this up.
I am dead serious that I've been to Paris.
Did we do the podcast that week?
Yeah, it was probably like, hey, I'm going to Paris this weekend.
Did you go so you went to Paris just for the weekend?
Yeah, it was only for like 2 or 3 days.
What are you working with there? Like a 6-hour delay?
I have no idea what the delay was. I know that the flight was like way shorter than I expected. I think it was like 8 hours or something.
You know what? Flights to Europe can be sneaky short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was again, I hate flying, but dude, first class is insane on international. Like I fell asleep with no problem. You get to like fully recline in those stupid pod things.
Why
You
are
get, like,
they stupid?
Because they just like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. You're in a fucking pod on a plane.
Yeah, those look cool though. I've never done one of those. I've only flown first class domestic, and
That's
been,
different.
It's been like, hey, the airline fucked up. Here you go. You can sit in like kind of fake first class.
Yeah, it's fake first class. Like
Yeah.
you just get like a little extra leg room, and there's like 2 seats instead of 3.
Yeah. I'd like to know, actually. I don't fly first class nearly often enough, but I think I've only flown first class twice, and both times I was like, tell you what, if I get like $11 back, I would just go to coach. Like I found very little difference.
I would pay like $400 or $500 extra every time I flew if I could get like the
You get-
international first class experience.
if you get like your own room, basically.
Yes, your own room. You get like a big ass TV basically, and you can fully recline. They give you like really good food.
All I care about is space, and not even if the TV works. Just give me a little space.
The space and the reclining is really what does it.
If you recline in international first class, are you being an asshole?
You're not
because there's
impeding
just so
on
much
anybody,
space,
yeah.
Because you're not screwing with
You're
anybody.
in your pod.
That's right.
It doesn't move the pod.
It's just like there's less space for you to like hang up a poster or something. But it's not really
Exactly.
infringing upon anybody else's.
Yeah, you may
enjoyment.
have to like move your mini fridge.
Well, that's fine. Do they?
Because honestly, I don't think like the seat goes back. Like it doesn't impede anybody behind you. It moves like the footrest forward, and then like the back kind of slides forward.
Interesting. What time was this flight?
I don't remember. I think that it was at night when I went there. Like I went overnight basically.
Yeah.
And got there first thing in the morning, and then when I came back, it was early in the morning.
Okay, so let me try to figure this out timing wise. If you left at night and then got there in the morning, would it have been? I think you probably, because I remember I did a flight to Europe that was leaving at like midnight or something, and it got there what felt like in the morning, and then I think when you land, it's like 3:00 in the afternoon or something.
That's probably what it was. Like I left in the morning and then ended up in the U.S. in like the afternoon.
Damn. And you'll be toast, man. I'll tell you what, jet lag.
Crazy, it'll get you.
Well, speaking of the Island Boys, we do have daylight savings coming up.
Oh,
What do you?
it's not daylight savings though. It's the end of daylight savings.
The end of daylight savings. That's right. So now
It's
we
daylight
spring,
givings.
We step into Christmas.
That's right.
Do you know that song?
Yeah.
Do you?
I don't know.
It's an Elton John song. He has a Christmas song.
Okay.
It's called Step Into Christmas.
I've probably heard it.
It's great. It's about like mainly just like
I bet it's about Christmas.
yeah, it's like kind of like just kind of like more like stepping into it. Just
Okay.
like entering Christmas.
Okay. Step off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
by
it. Ned Schneebly.
yeah, fuck. I couldn't think of his name. I was going to say Stanley Ipkiss, but that's The Mask. Right?
Yeah.
I bet Schneebly and Ipkiss would hang out.
Who? So what's Jack Black's real name in that movie? Because Ned Schneebly is the
That's
the
right.
assumed name.
Yeah. His real name is let's see. Let's do School of Rock cast. We're absolutely not going to learn about the Island Boys and what their backstory is. It's Dewey Finn.
Yeah, Dewey. Yeah.
Dewey Finn. And Mike White plays Ned Schneebly.
No, that's the Jets' backup quarterback.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mike White. That poor guy. Joan Cusack is in the movie.
That's right.
Also Miranda Cosgrove.
No, for real. Teach me about the Island Boys. I want to know what the origin story. Give me the let's jokerize the Island Boys.
Okay. So the deal with the Island Boys is you can get them on Cameo for $160 for personal use. For business, it's $600.
Holy shit.
So imagine calling up Cameo, being like, "I'd like the Island Boys," and I mean business. Like, do you have $600?
$600, please.
That will be 600. How do you think the Island Boys behavior differs
You think they
for
wear a
personal
suit?
use and business?
They just wear
Exactly.
a suit.
They're like a little snazzier.
It's two of them on top of each other with one oversized suit.
There's like a string quartet. They've got a jazz trio with them when they do it for business.
We should make
They
a
have
meme.
briefcases.
We should make a meme. And it's we stopped doing this for like 2 weeks. I want to get back to it. Meme of the week for the
Yeah.
podcast. The Winnie the Pooh meme where it's Pooh up top and then
Oh, yeah.
Pooh in the suit.
Yeah.
We should do that, but Photoshop the Island Boys in it, and then do like Island Boys cameo, Island Boys business cameo, and they're just wearing a suit in the bottom one.
I love it. I'm just watching, man, I'm telling you. I'm watching their Cameo page, just them doing cameos on a loop. And all of it, I'm watching it in silence, and I'm looking at your face. I'm not really lip reading, but I can tell that, like, all they're doing, they're just taking turns stepping in front of the camera. Like, let me unmute it for a second. I bet it's... They're just saying Island Boy. I'm an Island Boy. Those half of those aren't words.
I know that they're making
So
so
much
much.
respect
I
to
know they're
them, but-
making so much money, and like this is the best thing that's ever happened to them. But do you think there's any part of them where they're like, "Fuck, I wish we didn't make this goddamn song." They're on day like 14 of just waking up and standing in front of a camera,
Yes.
just singing that stupid shit over and over again.
Yeah.
As long as the check's clear, whatever. But God, waking up in the morning and like having your breakfast and then being like, all right, I guess I gotta go record 10 hours of me doing this stupid fucking song.
Oh yeah. They wake up. I think I don't know. Maybe they're roommates or something. They wake up. The other one's like, "All right, let's go, buddy." And he's like, did you put coffee on? Let's bang out like 3, then we'll get coffee, and then like
Chip away
a
at it.
400th of our day is already done. So we'll just. You think by the end of the day, they're like on vocal rest?
Yeah, right. They're just
they're like,
they're
"Oh."
like sipping like the smoothing tea.
Yeah, I've got a long day of letting people know that I am an island boy. Do you think that one of them's like, hey, maybe like let's put on shirts or something? Nice
Yeah,
little
the
button-up.
shirt thing is weird. They're always shirtless next to each other.
Yeah.
Just hanging out at the house. It made sense in the pool. Don't know if it makes sense in the house.
Oh man,
Wear one shirt?
yeah. I'm I'm an island boy. I should.
Which I should point out, are they island boys? They're from Florida, aren't they?
That has been pointed out. They're the meme of the person that seemingly she's at a dinner being held back, screaming at somebody,
and the cat.
and then there's a cat.
Yeah.
I saw a meme of that. It was, you're not an island boy, you're from Florida, and the cat had tattoos on its face, and it said, "I'm an island boy."
God damn it.
Who knows though? I mean, we still don't. Let's see. There's
Florida is somewhat of an island from like the rest of the United States.
in a lot of ways. Okay, so it says we're detailing everything you need to know about Fly Soldier in Kodiak Red and. If you haven't seen it yet, the Island Boy clip sees rappers Fly Soldier in Kodiak Red and freestyle in a viral TikTok video. The rappers seemingly represent the stereotypical
Man, the word rapper is really doing a
Florida
lot of work
man.
there.
Video has been duetted by other TikTokers and boasts over 200,000 likes. That's not a lot.
No.
My what's it called video?
Kermit the Frog.
My well, no. To tell you what, my Kermit the Frog thing. Nothing on TikTok.
No steam? Wow.
No steam. The first
Damn.
TikTok I did was the
Oh, the Olivia
Rodrigo one. That one's got like not necessarily 200,000 likes, but like probably
Baltimore Orioles gave it like
200,000
like.
comments. I bet
Yeah.
on it being like, not this man talking about Olivia Rodrigo. Yes, this man talking about Olivia Rodrigo. It's me, MFs. I should have responded like 14-year-old kids.
I know. It's so funny, like an adult
Yes,
man.
this man.
An adult man just walking up to teenagers being like, "It's me, motherfuckers."
Probably not. It says, who are the Island Boys? Who are the Island Boys behind the viral TikTok, you ask? It seems like this page is trying to hit a word count. Well, Florida-based Fly Soldier and Kodiak Red Ant are the twin rappers soaring to internet success. According to famous birthdays, the 20-year-olds... Okay, we don't need... Do you want their names?
Sure.
Alex and Frankie Venegas?
Oh, they're brothers?
Yes, they're
Okay.
twins. Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
I
I didn't like. It's very hard to decipher whether they look alike or they are just
They're
accessorizing
similarly-
the same.
Yes, the same outlets reports they burst onto the music scene back in 2020. I don't know. The two rappers appeared on the No Jumper podcast on October 7th to discuss their rap careers.
Oh, no.
They're also on Instagram. I'll tell you what, this is a poorly written
Press
who
release.
are the Island Boys people, because it seems like it just looked up stuff that we would have looked up trying to
Yeah.
figure out who they are. Like we're one or two paragraphs away from being like, they're on Cameo for $160. Let's see. The phrase
seems like
Island
a
Boy
press release
has
more than
flooded
anything.
social media. I'm an Island Boy. So I think the answer is nobody knows anything about
Okay.
these people. They're just there, and they're telling us that they're Island Boys, and for $600 you can be in business with them.
I am. So you asked if we wanted to get them to do the tease for the tomato fights, which I've now learned was a joke, and I'm glad it was a joke.
It was
like
it was kind of like
unless you go and do it.
it was kind of like yeah, exactly. It was like a dad said yes if you say yes
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I said a hard and quick no. One, because I'm not on the Island Boys train, and number two, I am just waiting for these guys to get canceled.
Yeah, that's typically how the internet works.
Yeah.
Well, as more information is learned, we're going to learn that, like, this is their fourth song, and their first three were, like, deeply misogynistic or
Yeah.
something, or, like, homophobic. That's typically how the internet works. But who knows? Maybe we'll find out, like, the first three were really invested in calling attention to climate change.
That would be the twist of the century.
Yeah, they're like, okay, we studied at Harvard, and we moved to Florida now to try to spread the word in a southern state, one that is going to be heavily impacted by climate change. So we're down here
Trying
working,
to protect our island.
and to blow off steam, we goof around with music sometimes. But myself and my other doctor
Esteemed
brother,
colleague.
yes, I don't know, yeah, like they.
It's when they're in the suits doing the business cameos.
That's right.
Me and my esteemed colleague here, Kodiak Red Hand.
Yeah, we should. I like the $600 business one. It's like must wear very shiny dress shoes. I bet those guys clean up well.
Yeah, sure.
The heavily tattooed under a tuxedo is a good look. It always works because depending on how you move, see the tattoos poke out a little bit.
Yep.
And you say,
It gives like a little like intrigue. Like,
exactly.
Ooh, what do you got under there?
So I mean, I've always wanted a tattoo that peeks out of the T-shirt, like inner bicep.
Yeah.
Maybe some text. It's like, oh,
It's like,
pull up that sleeve a little more.
I got the spark notes. Let me read the whole text.
Can I see what that is? It's always a Radiohead lyric. I feel like that's most text tattoos.
I am excited for the follow-up single to Island Boy, which is going to feature Greta Thunberg.
Yes, I mean, the obviously similar interests between those two.
Yes.
They're brothers. They're twin brothers in a band, very similar to Greta Van Fleet.
True.
Yeah, I think that they're
More respectable.
much more respectable as musicians. I wonder how the Fleet's doing. Do you think that they're still humming along?
Yeah.
The Fleet,
Greta
Greta and the gang.
I was trying to make a joke comparing the Fleet to fleets, which are now non-extinct or extinct. Sorry.
I saw someone doing a Fleet the other day, and I was pretty.
How? They don't
like
exist
a
anymore.
fleet of beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I meant like Twitter fleets.
Oh no,
Yeah.
please, gross. Those are so gone. Although spaces are happening now.
Yeah,
People
which
are
doesn't
doing
bother
those.
me because I can just ignore the
Yeah,
those don't take away from tweets.
I was invited to do a space, and I said, I'm gonna have to not do that yet. I gotta figure out what spaces are. Gotta
I think it's like Clubhouse.
observe.
Speaking
from
of
I'm gonna
which,
treat it like Twitch.
Also dead.
Just kind of watch it from afar, selectively, for like 2 years, then maybe check it out. Spaces will long be gone, but
Or they'll just be like oversaturated, like Twitch.
is Twitch officially oversaturated?
I mean, it's been like during the pandemic, everybody joined Twitch and everybody's was doing Twitch, myself included.
Right.
I think that like has somewhat come back down to like normal now that the world sort of has.
Interesting.
But yeah, like there was a real like saturation of that market during the pandemic.
Yeah, but now we're back to just kind of listening to tunes, and the Island Boys are providing us with that. So thanks to them. Maybe we can get them on. I wonder what they would talk about.
I don't want to have them on.
They kind of remind me of Pokemon
What do
in
you
that
mean?
they only really identify themselves. Pokemon won't shut the fuck up, but all they're telling you is what their name is.
That's true.
That's
That is
kinda what the
very
Island
true.
Boys
That
are
is a
on.
really, really good. So
They're like, yo, we got a 4-minute song for you, and you're like, is it going to be you telling me you're an Island Boy the whole time? And they're like, well, you're gonna have to find out.
if you were
I'm
a
an
Star Wars
Island
guy,
boy.
if you were a Star Wars guy, you would say they remind me of Groot because all Groot says is "I am Groot."
Oh, I've heard of that. I believe
Yeah, probably.
Jar Jar says Misa called Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah, that's Harry Potter though.
that's true. I should have been Jar Jar for Halloween. Damn it.
that would have been great, and like it would have pissed off a lot of people because you would have just been the character that everybody hates the most.
Shoot, I should have done that. I have to wear a Halloween costume on Friday, and I put no thought into it, and then today finally got a costume. For whatever reason, I really wanted to be Alf. I like the idea of getting just like a big-ass Alf costume, and it was going to be for work stuff, so like I love the idea of wearing a Halloween costume on TV that
fully
doesn't-
Alf.
that covers your face and doesn't. I was talking to work people, they were like, I ended up getting a Barney one.
Yeah.
It's a big-ass Barney costume, and I'm just going
You
to be
ended up
inside
getting that one?
Yeah. And they were like, well, how are we going to see your face? And I did the like,
Sounds like a
oops,
you problem.
already bought it. As I was like, who wants to see my face?
That's true.
I got long hair and
point.
a beard. I'm a TV person's worst nightmare right now.
It looks great though.
It looks okay.
looks
I'm
pretty good.
I'm an island boy.
Speaking of Halloween, we have a Halloween sort of themed episode of.
It's just like it's
It's a light reference. It's a light. It's an
we're
excuse.
doing a horror movie
Yeah, it's an
in
excuse
these
to do Scream.
scary and unprecedented times.
That's right. This week on Tomato Fights 3, we have a matchup of Scream versus Braveheart, which shockingly
79%.
79%. Both of those I would expect to be way higher.
I mean, they gave a Best Picture winner
A
79%.
yeah.
I love that matchup so much. I've already watched both movies. I've already obviously seen the movies before, but like 4 tomato fights, I've already watched both of them, and it's crazy to me that they A, have the same rating and that they B, are both 79%, because both of those movies
Are like considered classics.
should be considered classics.
Yeah. Special guest on Friday will be Rachel Bonetta,
Yes.
which I'm very excited about. She's quite funny.
Yes.
She's from the NFL Network. I'm very excited that she's going to join. Big Scream fan, apparently. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
And doing some research when we were gonna get her, and the research, I guess, is following her on Twitter.
Okay.
She tweeted some things about a Scream party, I believe.
Ooh.
And
That doesn't mean that she's a big Scream fan. She could just have friends, period.
I don't know, she works in our field. I don't think that's not super conducive to having a lot of friends and a life or anything. But we'll find out. But I mean, the Scream was the choice anyway, just given that there's a new one coming out and that it's around Halloween time, and I'd rather do Scream than a Halloween one, because we just did Halloween Kills. So
Bad movie.
Scream, not a good movie. Although I am on Friday, I think I'm interviewing the guy that plays Michael Myers.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether or not I'll be in the Barney costume for that. I really hope that I will be. Because
You should ask him up to a race.
Barney versus Michael Myers, or me versus Michael Myers?
Barney versus Michael Myers.
Because
Because he can't win that race.
I don't
he's
know.
not
they're
allowed
both
to-
Barney doesn't run though. Barney waddles.
I think you can waddle faster than Michael Myers can walk.
A thing that, by the way, another thing that bugs me about Halloween Kills is that he kills Tommy at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But when Tommy's a kid, he could definitely kill him. But he's like, nah, you're a kid. You're cool.
Yeah, he's
you
playing
got
the long
nothing to do
game.
with this, Tommy. I guess he was, but
And then, like when Tommy was a kid, Tommy wasn't trying to kill him.
yeah, Tommy. Oh God, I really did not like Halloween Kills.
Oh, it
They
was
really-
quite bad.
They really ruined the good Paul Rudd Tommy name.
So that's coming out on Friday on patreon.com/listen-to-brunch. We also have an announcement about the future of Tomato Fights, and it's exciting.
Yeah,
But we're gonna be approaching it. I guess we're not approaching it any differently, but we are going to make it more accessible, I guess.
right. It's gonna have its own feed on the podcast and the apps and everything. So if people want to listen to just Tomato Fights, they can just find Tomato Fights on its own. But it'll be me and Pete, and we'll get guests, and you get it by being on the Brunch Patreon. We hope that won't be confusing. We don't think it will be.
Yeah,
But-
so the Brunch Patreon is going to get it in advance of the feed, the standalone feed. So
Oh,
we're
right.
we're going to be we're going to be establishing a Tomato Fights standalone feed. So like you can follow Tomato Fights on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts. It's going to have its own feed, just Tomato Fights episodes, but the people that subscribe to the Listen to Brunch Patreon will get the episodes either I think we're going to do 2 weeks in advance. You'll get them 2 weeks in advance before they hit the public feed. So there still is a benefit to subscribing to the Patreon. You get them 2 weeks in advance, and you don't have any ads. The ads will be on the public feed, but
Yes.
no ads on the Patreon exclusive episodes of Tomato Fights.
So really, if you want to be like up on Tomato Fights and in on Tomato Fights and supporting Tomato Fights, Patreon is where you're going to do that. You're going to get everything as it's coming out. They'll eventually be accessible to everybody for if you want to check it out. But I mean, we want you guys to be in on this and up on all this, because we're going to be grinding. We're going to be
Yep.
putting them out. So get
And-
on there, and then you'll obviously still get the bonus episodes.
Right.
And
So
videos
the
and everything else.
Patreon won't only be tomato fights. That's going to be part of the deal of joining the Patreon, is that you get tomato fights early, but you're also still going to get bonus episodes.
Right. So do that, because Tomato Fights is a great idea. It's $1 million idea.
It is. And so, like, for a little bit of transparency as to why we're doing this, we're very excited about Tomato Fights and what it can be, and we want to get it to as many ears as possible, and we realize that keeping it fully behind the Patreon wall may limit that exposure. So we
sure.
really, really want to blow this up. So any support that you could give to, whether it's just subscribing to the standalone feed and listening to those, would be very, very much appreciated.
Yeah, absolutely would love it. Please do it. We appreciate you. And I really, I can't wait to do this episode with Bonetta.
Yeah, and keep an eye out on our Twitter, or our personal Twitters and the Brunch Twitter, because we are going to be sending out the link and the social handles for the tomato fights.
Review, rate, etc.
Yeah, please. We need you to go and flood the reviews, give 5-star reviews, really kind of throw it up the charts of the movie section on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
So that's another part of it. This allows us to have it in its own section, which would be movies. Although, like, peek behind the curtain, I do want there to be that there's ways that it can be done with albums and music and shit like that. So there's going to be this Tomato Fights idea. Believe you me, has crazy utility.
It's been called $1 million idea.
It has. Folks are saying one of two guests has not been.
We actually got a review.
Volatile in response to the suggestion.
We actually got a review on the Brunch Apple Podcast page about tomato fights, and it was called a $1 million idea.
All kidding aside, and we'll get Bonetta's thoughts on this for Friday's episode, but all kidding aside, it is obviously a great big, you can put whatever number you want on it, but it's an awesome idea. We're excited about it. And I think
early
that it's going
returns
well
are
so
awesome.
far.
Yeah.
It's a good time. I have no problem sitting around, like, really just like burning the midnight oil, because I've just been cruising through movies. I'm getting ready for another one that we've got the one coming up Friday. We've got another one planned after that, and that one has a real classic matchup, and I'm just trying to get ahead of it, so I'm cruising through those movies too. So, man, it's a lot of work, but totally worth it, because we feel like $1 million after we finish taping these things.
And I hadn't thought about this until now, but it has really flipped like the brunch movie watching experience, or at least my personal brunch movie watching experience, completely on its head, because in years past, I only saw new movies in theaters, and I like completely ignored all classic bodies of work and like, oh, a movie made before 2016.
Yeah, Whiplash
never
is the
seen
cutoff,
it.
babe.
Yeah, never seen it. Now it's like a bunch of these old movies, and I'm ignoring Dune. I'm ignoring the new James Bond. I haven't seen a movie in theaters since I went somewhat recently, but I forget what it was. Maybe Pig.
Yeah, same. But I do think, and there's a lot of fun matchups. Believe you me, we're gonna get into all different sorts of ones. But I think that doing the like finding big movies that have like Scream and Braveheart. We could have done two like random ones that you guys haven't heard of, and kind of done the brunch thing, which is more like tell you about something that doesnants matter that you haven't heard of. And again, I'm sure we're gonna do that on like some silly and some stupid movies. But like this idea wants big ones that people have heard of, and like.
Yeah, but I think that's the beauty in it too, is that like the conversations about the movies are going to be so different depending on like what the movies are.
Oh yeah.
Like we are going to be like breaking down the redeeming qualities of Scream and how like in Braveheart, and how
hope you have 5 hours if you want to break down the redeeming qualities of Scream.
So like it's going to be really dissecting that, and then like for the shitty movies, once we get to those, it's going to be dumping all over them and like basically explaining them blow by blow to people. So I'm very excited for both.
Yeah. So follow Tomato Fights wherever you can. We'll put it out there, but get on the Patreon and Support it if you can. We
Patreon.com/listen to brunch.
Patreon.com/listen to brunch. I'll tell you what. I was saying this the other day. It's sad that like after all this pandemic stuff, something that really made me feel like the world was back to normal was sitting at home on Sunday night and watching HBO comedies.
Yeah.
Isn't that
like,
sad?
yeah,
But it's true.
It kind of is. But there's also an element of like, I don't know. There's really nothing better than appointment TV, and I feel like that's becoming more and more rare because like now everything is released all at once. It's bingeable, whatever. And I guess like I've gotten used to the Friday releases with like Ted Lasso and The Mandalorian and stuff like that. Where I don't know why the Friday one feels a lot different. Where like you know that it's available to you whenever you want. You can watch it at any point in the weekend. There's just like something that hits different about Sunday night. Like it's the last thing that you do for the weekend and you sit down and like that caps your weekend. There is a quality to that is really, really like hits home.
I love it. And shout out HBO. I mean, HBO has had that on lock for God knows how
that's
long.
like literally every if there is an HBO show that's like popular, it's on a Sunday night.
I mean, forever NBC has Thursday nights. You know that must see TV was coined for NBC Thursday night television.
Really?
Yeah, I believe it was in like the Seinfeld Friend days. But right, like so Thursday night, NBC's got that ass, right? Sunday night
belongs
HBO.
to HBO.
And man, in Insecure, my heart belongs to Insecure and Curb Your Enthusiasm. I was so happy to see those back, even though I didn't like the last season of Curb.
Crazy too, because the biggest show on Sunday nights is Succession.
I know. I just don't do it yet.
You texted me and you were like, you broke the news to me, which was incredible. Good for you. You got to deliver that joy to my heart.
Hearing Insecure is back in 4 minutes.
Yeah. Insecure and Curb back to back. And I was like, oh, really? I was excited for tonight because Succession is on.
Yeah.
And now I got those two back to back.
Insecure was, I mean, I was just so excited to have both of those back. They could have been terrible episodes, and I would have been like, great. I realized when watching, I'm more happy to have Insecure back because there's more riding on Insecure because this is its last season.
Yeah.
Curb, I'm more interested in seeing how they incorporate the fact that they seemingly finally are acknowledging that Larry David is a man in his mid-70s and it is unusual if he's dating Lucy Liu and still kind of running the way that he does. That was a super funny episode when he when he walked into the glass and Leon said to Jeff, what did he say? Did he say that's two feeble things he's done now? He spilled the wine and he walked into glass. I forget what he says, like one more. I don't know if he says like
you're like dead or something.
Yeah, right. Like you got to put him in a home or something like that. But that was a very funny episode. Insecure though, I'm just more in on like what happens, and it's the same questions we always ask.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen with Lawrence? What's gonna happen with Molly?
Yeah, for two shows that we really love and are like so excited and wrapped into, it is the same shit every
Always.
time.
Yeah,
even
but what's happening with
Curb,
Molly and Issa? Yeah, but what's happening with Lawrence and Issa?
Yeah, even with Curb, it's like, all right, cool. Larry's getting him into some shit.
Yeah,
I bet he's gonna fuck it up and be an asshole.
Wait, so it seems Susie's mad at him now.
She's throwing him out of the house.
Yeah, she's telling him to get the fuck out. Oh man, she's raising her voice.
It's incredible that like those shows are like still beloved and that like they just keep doing the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. But this one, I mean, the last season of Curb I didn't think was very good. I thought there were some good episodes. But
I thought the last season was pretty good. But the previous season set the bar so low.
Oh, really? Is that the?
That was the one with the where like Larry was getting hunted by the guy that he insulted on late night.
Oh, right. Yeah, that one wasn't good.
No.
I guess I didn't like either of the last two seasons.
I thought the
really
last
then.
one was okay. Like I liked the Mocha Joe storyline.
Yeah.
I thought that the last season had some pretty funny episodes.
Some of them just kind of seemed like lightly out of touch. Like they did the episode about
Trump.
Like, oh,
the MAGA.
Oh, I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, that
I
was
thought
pretty
he
fun.
was-
Yeah, like that was
him wearing
perfectly
the
Larry
hat
David.
for just because he's antisocial.
Yeah.
I thought was really funny. But they did an episode where the girlie was dating like yo-yo diets, but they were acting like they were coining it, and I was confused I was distracted the whole episode. I was like, they're saying it in like this is a curb, like the way they talked
Right.
about plopping this
Yeah,
episode,
yeah.
like she plopped, which, not to get into it,
Definitely plopped.
they could have stood to tone down the plopping because there
So-
was no debate.
Right.
I want there to be people on both sides of did
Yeah,
she plop?
I want like a Zapruder style video.
Yeah,
Did Susie plop?
they basically had a little.
They may have
like,
well just set up a
trampoline
tamp. Oh,
for-
damn it! You stole my
she-
fucking joke.
She did though.
I know.
That shows how obvious it is
Yeah.
though that we both arrived at that. That she might as well have just had a little trampoline and just
Yeah.
jumped right on. At 1,000,000% Susie's fault. Also, big of Larry. I don't know if I would have had the restraint. Jeff says to him privately, like, "Oh yeah, she definitely plopped."
It's like, why didn't you say that?
I would have been like, Susie, Jeff said that you plopped.
Yeah.
No, fuck you, Jeff. I don't care. There's no friends in this. I'm just glad to have those back. You liked the move that Issa pulled on Lawrence.
I wouldn't say that I liked it. I said hilarious move to have somebody pick you up from the airport, drive you home, and then break up with them.
It's a savage move.
That is you'd think that she like might get like an Uber or Lyft discount since she drives
Right.
for them.
That's what the second most savage move of that episode.
What's
Number
the first?
one being sneaking in to your college reunion when you didn't graduate and therefore weren't invited, finding your old friends and setting them up to be robbed and mugged
Yeah, that's incredible.
at gunpoint. That was a bit of a savage move on that.
That was
that lady's
hilarious.
part. I liked the actually 2 episodes that dealt with
And a live
like
person being-
eulogizing
yeah.
the dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. I was going to point that out. That it was back-to-back episodes in which an alive person basically attends their own funeral.
Yeah, they Stanford inadvertently kills off Kelly.
Yep.
I love though that when she was in like the in memoriam thing, and she was like, "Wait, they think I'm dead?" And Issa was like, "Oh, that makes sense. Now I know what. Now I get why they asked me to say a few words." And there were like quotes from all of her friends, just like vague quotes about like, "No one makes you laugh like Kelly." It's like she's dead now.
She like does a great stanky leg, and then she does the saddest stanky leg while like they're like doing it in her honor.
Yeah.
Them eulogizing her, and then being like, "This one goes out to Kelly," and they
Yeah.
play fucking stanky leg.
And then on the other hand, eulogizing Albert Brooks.
Albert Einstein.
Albert. Oh, that's right. You told me that, and I can't remember if I ever knew that.
His
It
real
goes on
name
the
is
list of fun
Albert
facts.
Einstein, which is hilarious.
Yeah, that's some Michael Keaton, Michael Douglas, Katy Perry. I did get to use successfully. I used the Katy Perry, Kate Hudson fun fact
Ooh,
this past week. Felt very good.
hell yeah! I do like the addition of Albert Brooks into the Curb universe. Has he been in there before?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either, but I really like him. I feel like
Did they
need,
work together on the play? Maybe the producers.
Maybe.
Albert Brooks. Let's see.
I don't know, but I really like. There's something about Albert Brooks's presence that I think is I really like it. I don't know. I just like his vibe.
Oh yeah, very very funny. I was laughing very hard before he was outed as a what do they call it? A COVID hoarder?
Yeah.
Or before he was outed as that, and he was watching his funeral and like eulogy, and Larry goes up there and just starts like busting his balls, and like the constant cuts to Albert Brooks being like,
Get him off.
"Oh, don't do. Oh, oh, this is important. This is terrible. Oh,
Don't do that, Larry.
yeah. That's 1,000% what you're going to get if you ask people to
Oh yeah.
eulogize you when you're
Hey,
alive.
he's upstairs.
And honestly,
Especially when you ask Larry David to eulogize you when you're alive upstairs.
I feel like enough eulogies too are still like light roasts.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah, they always try to get a laugh.
we're like, oh, he would have been so happy that you were all here. But he cared more about the game than any of you, so he'd hope that you could all wrap it up. And everyone's like,
Yeah, that's right. That's
it's
true.
like, what a shitty quality. That person cared more about fucking sports than being with loved ones. What a terrible thing to say. Depends on the team.
Yeah, true.
Like the Chargers this year, I'm probably leaving a group gather, like a family gathering, to see Herb Guy just go off.
That's right.
Large like the Chargers, the whole team. You know that song?
I do know that song.
You thought the podcast was gonna end?
Yeah, I was leaning towards shutting it off, hitting the old record button.
Do we reference that song, or do we just leave it at that quote? Large like the Chargers, the whole team. Yeah, maybe it'll go on the brunch playlist. Probably not.